started. Hi, Adewikpe. That's Louise. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you for joining my live session today. So just before we start, I'm going to ask if you can hear me. So if you can, kindly indicate with an emoji. Okay, so if you can hear me loud and clear, kindly indicate with an emoji. Okay, let me know. Can you hear me, guys? Please let me know if you can. Mike Kojo, thank you. Patience, thank you. Goldfeed, thank you. Nas Luis, thank you. So thank you so much for joining another live session with me, guys. I really do appreciate you for your time. And today we are starting another episode of nurses that are doing the most. And if you have been following this session, you know that I started this session so that we can, celebrate nurses who are absolutely doing the most. Outside of nursing, inside nursing, everywhere. So this session is to, identify them, celebrate them, put them out there, encourage them even to do more, and of course learn from them. So today is gonna be so much of learning. So if you've got questions, today I have a registered nurse from the United States on this live session today, and she's gonna be my guest. She's a registered nurse in the USA. In fact, she's retired. I don't want to do so much of, introduction of my guest. I want her to come and talk to you guys by herself. So guys, please be nice to my guest. Okay? Be nice to my guest. No rudeness this evening. If you're rude, I'm going to send you out of this live session. I know we are kind people here. So I'm just going to pin the topic of this live session so that we can have a direction. So if you're joining late, you have an idea what is actually going on. Okay, so it's nurses. Before I bring up my guests, nurses doing the most. We are talking about how to become a nurse billionaire. Wow. Who wants to be a billionaire here? Billionaire. No, I did not say millionaire. Billionaire. So if you want to be a billionaire and if you want your friends to be billionaires, you know what? Do me a favor. There's an icon. You have 4 icons on your right if you're watching this live session on your mobile. There are 4 icons. There's one that looks like a sending or, kite icon. Use that icon to send this live session to your friends so that they can join this live session. So I'm just pinning the name of my guest. I hope I'm correct. And we will start. Okay? So good. Without wasting much of our time, let's get started on this, guys. I don't have so much time to waste. Okay, so let's see. Got questions, right? At the end of this live session, King Olufemi, thanks for buying me a badge. So if you've got questions at the end of this live session,
hello,
kindly use the question icon to, send your questions so that we can answer them.
hello, my queen. How are you?
I'm fine. I am so excited.
I'm so excited.
I am so
Thank
excited
you for
to have
me.
you on this live session today. How are you? How have you been? How is your vacation going? I'm sorry that I cracked into your vacation. How are you?
All is well. Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. Everybody, if you're watching this, go ahead and put a fire emoji in the chat for the host, the UK queen. Thank you for having me.
So can you kindly introduce yourself to my guest?
Yes. So for everyone who doesn't know me, hello, my name is Nurse Lois. I was born and raised in Ghana, West Africa. I moved to the United States when I was 9 years old. I went to school in Florida, but now I live in Los Angeles, California.
Mm.
I've been a nurse for 5 years
Wow.
and travel nursing for the last three of those 5 years. And so last year in November, I had the opportunity through hard work, through knowing the right people, to actually retire from full-time nursing. And you're probably wondering, what do I do now? How do you retire? I'm 25 years old, retired RN. And so my big focus now is helping nurses, wherever you are, I don't care wherever you are, helping nurses make the most amount of money in nursing. Because, you know, some people love nursing, they don't want to quit. I'm not here to tell everybody, let's quit. I help nurses, you know, make the most amount of money, whether it's travel nursing or strike nursing or staff nursing. And then for nurses who are like me, they're burnt out, they're tired, they're looking for a way out. I help nurses pivot away from the bedside. So it has been great.
Interesting. So, you said what's that? I see that you travel a lot
A
because you're
lot.
now a travel nurse.
Yes.
Do you really enjoy traveling?
I love it.
Is
I'm
it
in
on, is it
Canada
on
right
work? Is it on
now.
an assignment, or is just generally you traveling to have
You
fun?
know what? Before I was a travel nurse, I didn't travel much. So when I became a travel nurse, I was traveling for work, but now I travel for fun. Right now I'm in Canada. I saw Beyonce 2 days
Ooh.
ago. So I love traveling.
That's so much fun. And I always see your, your workshops. They are
Yeah.
really great. I mean, you're doing absolutely amazing. I mean, that's why we have you here. We want you to tell us more. Tell us more about what inspired all of this. What inspired you to say, you know what? I want to stop working full time. I want to help nurses. A lot of people know about these things, but they don't want to share. Not a lot of people want to
Mhm.
share. They want to keep everything. They don't want you to be a billionaire. They are billionaires. You just want it only them. So what inspired you to, quit full time, support nurses, do all the workshops? You have workshops almost every day.
Yeah. And I'm very, very busy. You know, like you said, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
they gatekeep. They want to feel like they are special. They want everybody to look at them and say, wow, look at Nurse Lois. And I'm very big on, I always tell people in my community, I'm not special. Like a part of you, you may look at me, oh, you're 25, you're in California, whatever. You might think that I'm special, but anybody who's listening to my voice right now, I don't care where you are, you're in London, you're in the United States, you are wherever, you have everything that you need inside of you. Sometimes people just need to believe in themselves. So when it comes to nursing, you know, I started travel nursing COVID. So 2020, I was one of those crazy people who went to New York. So the very round one of COVID New York, I was out there, and I believe in taking risks. As nurses, we're very safe. You know, we have to keep our patients safe. We have to make sure the doctors and the family, we're always playing the safe role.
Mm-hmm.
So once I decided to start taking a risk, whether it was going out to New York doing travel nursing or doing strike nursing or quitting my job and pursuing entrepreneurship, I now, instead of running away from fear, I run towards it. So I want to listen, if you're whatever you're scared about, I know some UK nurses, they want to come to the United States. Just do it. Whatever you're scared about, just go for it. Your life will never be the same.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something that is very common with nurses, and that's taking risks. We
Yeah.
are not very used to taking risks. They're like, oh my God, invest in this. My salary is enough. Invest in that. Oh, no, 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 no. I've
Oh,
just
no, no,
skipped this.
no. They,
We really do not like to take risks. And I think that it's high time we started taking risks, because, I mean, no good thing comes from comfort zone. You have to be ready to step
no.
out of your comfort zone. You know, when I tell people and try to encourage them about, migrating to other countries like Canada or USA, they're going, oh my God, it's so, USA pathway is so difficult, it's so tedious, it's so complex. UK is easier to, to go through and everything. And I see that, okay, actually, if they take out NCLEX, you know, you have to sit NCLEX. If they
Right.
take out NCLEX out of the old pathway, will you still want to go to USA? So I see that it is taking the risk
Yes.
of taking all this examination, not that they don't really want to go. So we really need to develop more, you know, a positive attitude towards change. I think that's the
Yes.
biggest part right now, because you were working full-time and now you're working part-time.
Yes.
That's a big change. How does it feel
It
not
feels
working full-time?
it feels good. I haven't
Mhm.
put on scrubs to go to work since November. So, I mean, I still work. I just don't work as a nurse.
Mhm.
I pursued entrepreneurship. I'm involved in life insurance. I do a bunch of different things. So, it feels great. And there is such a need for nurses. And one thing I always tell nurses, whatever you're scared about, we have a great plan B. Like, as a nurse, you'll always have a job. There's always somebody who will hire you. At least in the United States. I don't
Exactly.
know about US
Mhm.
and the UK. So
Exactly.
don't be afraid.
So what are the opportunities out there for nurses who are, I mean, they are planning, they are intending US RNs? What are the
Yes.
opportunities? Because I think I was going to have a session where we talk about UK and USA, but no, today even me, I'm here to learn. So I want to learn more about the United States. So what are the opportunities out there for we intending US RN? Because I've been like on a crossroad, making the decision, do I want to
Mm.
go to US or do I want to remain in the UK? But after that conversation with you, I said, Holy Spirit, activate, I'm leaving.
Listen, my
So what
sister,
are the
you need to come.
opportunities out there for us?
So there's a lot of different opportunities in the US. So there's three types of nursing that you can be here. Number one is what we call a staff nurse, which is, I think, the same term in the UK.
Mhm.
So this is usually the nurse who just graduated school, uni, and now she has taken her boards. Our boards here is called the NCLEX RN.
Mhm.
And we also have two types of nurses here in the United States. You can be an RN, which is a registered nurse, and then you can be an LPN. They almost do the same thing. It's just with the LPNs, they can't do certain IVs, they can't give blood, more restrictions. So you guys would essentially come here. You would have to take your NCLEX, and then you would be something called a staff nurse, which is pretty much a nurse who just works at her local hospital. Now, ideally, after 2 years, you can start travel nursing. I say ideally because during COVID, I mean, I had a year and a half of experience and they were happy to take me as a travel nurse. Some hospitals will
Mm.
even, yeah, some hospitals, they'll let you travel nurse after 1 year. So they say 2 years, to be safe, but depending on the
Mm.
hospital, depending on the demand, if you've been a nurse for 1 year at minimum, you have to at least have 1 year, you can start travel nursing. So then you guys can start travel nursing. When we talk about travel nursing, I know in the UK you guys have agency nursing.
Exactly.
Um, it
Yeah.
sounds similar. So with us, we just go to a different city or a different state. So for example, I went to nursing school, everything in Florida. And then I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana. My first travel assignment was in New York. So you have the opportunity to go all over the United States. They pay for your housing, okay? Free housing. They give you a housing stipend. They pay for your meals, so they will pay
Wow.
for you to eat. They pay for you to eat, and then they also certain agencies, depending on the agency, sometimes they'll cover your transportation or your flight to the city. So everything is pretty much paid for you as far as your accommodations,
Mhm.
and then they pay you a really nice hourly rate. So
Mhm.
I mean, rates. I mean, I don't know if they want to talk money, but during
Give us
COVID,
numbers.
I should give you the number.
Give us numbers.
Listen.
I love numbers.
So my very first travel assignment, this was in 2020, it was April. I was making about $5,600 a week. So $5,600 every week, only working 4 days a week. During that time, I chose to only work 4 days a week, but there were nurses who were working 6 days a week who were making over $10,000 a week.
Wow.
Everybody, you heard me correctly. $10,000 a week.
Wow.
But they were working 6 days. I didn't want to work all those days, so I worked 4 days. I made 5,600. But I've done 13 travel assignments. Any major city in the USA, I have lived there. I have worked there. My highest travel assignment was 11.6K a week as a traveler.
11 points.
6K. My
Wow.
sister. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I've always heard that, nursing in United States is the gold mine. How true is that? Is it really the gold mine? Or it's just,
Honestly, like it really, really is. And I have family in the UK. I'm African, so I have family in Ghana. And one thing that I notice is that in other countries, they value nurses, but they don't pay us correctly. I mean, listen, everybody who's on this call, I need you to hear my voice clearly. You save lives for a living. I have to say one more time. If you're on here, you are a nurse. You have to realize that you save people's lives for a living. Why don't we get paid properly? I mean, so one thing I noticed is that the US, they value us and then they pay us our worth. Even still, I feel like the money is not enough. I mean, the ability to bring somebody back to life.
Money is never enough.
It's not enough. No. Honestly, it's not enough.
Wow. Someone said, how about the tax? Like, how is the tax like?
That's a great
because
question.
in UK, the tax it's not letting us breathe, to be honest. So how is the tax in USA?
That is a great question. So in the US, it depends. So you guys have to remember we have 50 states. And it's like every state acts like they're their own country. They have their own little rules and all that.
A state is like a UK.
Exactly. So the taxes, it depends. So when I was living in Florida, so a lot of states that are in the South, like Florida, Georgia, those states in the South, your taxes are usually not that bad. Now, I relocated.
Just pause 2 seconds. If you're on this live session and you need motivation, you need someone to push you, like real push. Nurse Louise is the one. Like, follow her right now. I don't know. Did I get your handle correct?
You got it correct. You got it correct.
Like, since I followed you, since the moment I found you, my life has not remained the same. I'm like, because I've been so lax, I've been so unmotivated. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm tired of reading. But since I followed you, it's not since the hype, the pumping, I've been so energetic. I'm like,
Period.
So if you're not following her, if you need all this motivation, you see, they say you're dope. Follow her, like follow her back to back.
You are dope. First of all, you are the queen. You are the queen. I'm so happy to be here. My African sister. Like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So when it comes to tax, we were talking about the taxes. So Florida, states in the South, the taxes are not going to be that bad. Now, if you want to go somewhere like New York, California, the expensive states, the taxes are high. Like, I'm talking like 30, maybe 40% of your pay.
Florida?
In California and New York, not in Florida.
California.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason that I justify living in California is because, I mean, California, I don't know if you guys have heard, but California is really paradise for nurses. They make sure you take a break. I'm talking an hour break. They make sure they have break nurses. They want you to go eat. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, it's great.
Interesting. So we talked about staff nurses, right? We've talked about travel nurses. So which other nurse are we talking about now? You were telling us the type of nursing, you remember?
Yes. I'm glad you brought us back. So we talked about
I'm following.
Listen, this is serious. So we talk about staff nurses, we talk about travel nurses, and then there's another there's another sector of travel nursing. It's called strike nursing.
Mm.
So I don't know how it is in the UK. You have to educate me on this one.
See, we
But
don't have strike nursing. All they do is that they force us not to go on strike. They blame us for going on strike, and they get agencies to take the shifts.
oh, so you guys don't go on strike?
They don't. We went on our strike is very weird. Let me tell you about our strike. Our strike is we only don't do extra hours. So for instance, if you're contracted for 12 hours and then you can take extra shifts, like extra days, like for extra shift, like bank shifts, that's the one you don't do. Meanwhile, people want to do that. I mean, that's where they make the money.
Right.
So for our own strike, people still go to work.
Wow.
Just on some certain days you don't go, or you do half shifts. It's just weird. I'm sorry, I don't even want to talk about it.
That's
so no,
crazy.
they don't want us to go on strike. We went on our strike for the very first time last year, this year.
Okay.
First time. You need to see how the whole country was on us. Now we are so selfish, we are so greedy. For ask how much do you think they pay nurses in the UK? On an average, £14 per hour.
Wait, how many?
You heard, sis? On an average, 14.
14. Huh? Hey! You're joking. You are joking. 1-4?
1-4.
Oh, everybody, please pack your bags immediately. Huh?
Oh, no, we don't have strike nursing.
Oh, no.
That's before tax. Tax is not even gone in.
Oh,
I'm a band 6 nurse in the UK. I'm a band 6 nurse. So we start with band 5 and then you have band 6. Okay. I'm a band 6. Guess how much I earn in a month? In a month, I earn around 2,300 to 2,500.
Oh, no. I didn't know it was that low.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
you see?
I'm actually
so
shocked.
Please, sis, can you see why I'm serious in this live session? I'm not joking. Please continue. Thank you.
Wow. That is crazy.
Let's go back to strike nursing.
So strike nursing. This is something that I actually, when we talked about gatekeeping a little bit earlier, strike nursing is the #1 gate kept category of nursing in the United States. And that's why people are mad at me, because I'm telling everybody about strike nursing. Period. I'm not a gatekeeper, and I don't work at the bedside, so I'm spilling all the tea, honey.
Period.
So what strike nursing is, it's really the same thing as a travel nurse assignment, except the nurses are on strike. Here is the thing though, not every single state or every single hospital can go on strike. Here in the US, we have something called union hospitals. So these union hospitals, the nurses have the ability to vote. So whether it is about pay, most of the strikes is about pay, or patient ratio, maybe they're giving too many patients to one nurse, or sometimes they'll go on strike because the break is 30 minutes. I mean, we work 12-hour shifts. Why am I getting a 30-minute break? The least thing, the nurses are going on strike, honey. They're going on strike. So when they go on strike, the most popular state for strike nursing is California. My sister, I'm telling you, at least once a month there's a strike in California. Any little inconvenience, there's going on strike.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So when they go on strike, we as the strike nurses, we come in, we work for, usually the strikes are about 1 week, so Monday through Friday, or sometimes it's 2-3 days. But I mean, if the problem is very serious, they'll strike for weeks and weeks and weeks. So we just come in, we work while the nurses, and the strike is serious. They're outside with the protests, it's on the news. It is serious. So we go in, and strike nursing is where the biggest bag is at.
So tell us now. I like numbers.
You like numbers. So I like numbers too, because people need to see it. Like, it's one thing to be on live and, oh, Lois, it sounds good. Oh, okay. But like when I did my first strike, last year. I made, everybody listen to me closely. I made $30,000 in 10 days. And you know the crazy part? I only worked 8 out of the 10 shifts. And listen, for anybody who doesn't know me, follow me. I'll post the receipt on my story again.
You don't need to preach following you anymore. I've already said it once. I only talk once.
I will post the receipts. Seriously.
30,000.
30,000. And remember, free hotel. I mean, I was at the Marriott, San Francisco, free transportation. I mean, 30,000 as a nurse.
If you are a young nurse, like, you know, the older you get, you might not get the energy for these things anymore. Like family, this and that. Kids. But if you are young, don't even think, even if you are old, you can go 1 week on, can go 2 weeks on this job, come back 2 weeks with your family, take care of them. They won't even remember you left them for 2 weeks.
Right.
Like 30,000. The other day I looked back at my savings in this country and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm finally leaving. Because
I'll be your friend. I'll show you around.
I don't want to work forever. So why do I save that money to actually settle down? Like have my own businesses, investments. When? Strike nursing, here we come. Hey, I just play.
Come and do the thing. So the reason that people don't like to...
Sorry, cool Emmy, please. You have to watch this live session. Like, rewatch it. Don't worry, I'll put it on my YouTube. I wanted this to be on YouTube live, but I'm like, I can't divert my concentration. So I want to focus. That's why I said, let me just leave it only on Instagram. So guys, I'll put it on YouTube so you can easily watch again. And at the end of this live session, you can go back. I cannot believe that we have not even used 30 minutes and the gems. The gems feels like we've used an hour.
I love your energy, by the way. Everybody, please drop some fire emojis for the host, okay? Because the energy is unmatched.
So we were talking about strike nursing, $30,000
in 10 days. I'm being humble when I say the 10. It's really like 8 shifts.
8 days, $30,000. 16 days, $60,000. Hey,
you're doing the math.
Hey, 3 weeks. I don't buy 3 lands for our village. Oh my goodness. They never tell. I've never heard this. Like they never tell us this part. They just tell us it's not, if it's don't live your life, let's not be all. It's all about money now.
Right. And I don't like that, all these entertainers, these rappers, these musicians, they get paid big bucks. We're the ones saving people's lives. I don't understand why they look at nurses like, oh, you shouldn't do it for the money. We do it because we love patients. We love what we do.
But we also have bills to pay.
We have bills. We have life to enjoy.
They want us to keep looking like the humble church rats. Seriously, that's why they go crazy when they see nurses looking fly and sexy and beautiful and handsome, cute. The kind of nurses we have now, they are so gorgeous. And even the male nurses, they are looking all, prim and proper. And I'm like, that's what we want. And, oh my God. We are the new generation nurses, and we are going for the bags.
We go for the bag. You can have it all. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm tired of society wanting to silence us and you're supposed to love your job. We love our job. Beyonce loves her job and she gets paid well. So me too, I want the same.
Exactly. Thank you. So many still believe that USA is all about guns, and in other countries they might not really get support, career advancement. What is career advancement like? Like the support you get from your employers. I know you don't work full-time anymore, but even on your short-term assignments, what's the support like for nurses?
That is a good question. So support really depends on the hospital. I'm going to be honest with you guys, as always. Every hospital, unfortunately, is not built the same. The big hospitals that have the big money for example, for my first travel assignment, I told you guys I was in New York for COVID. My mom is a nurse practitioner.
Ah,
So
you mentioned that.
yes,
It's in the blood.
it's in the blood, honey. So when I went to New York first.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Manhattan. I was in Times Square. My hospital was great. I begged my mom to come because New York was a little bit scarier than I anticipated. I mean, bodies after bodies, and I'm sure it was like that in London, everywhere in 2020. So I said, Mom, please come. Like, I need my support system. So I was in Manhattan. She was in Brooklyn. Her hospital, my hospital was #1 in New York, #5 in all of USA. So I was living good. She was in Brooklyn, the hospital, complete opposite. So to answer your question about support, unfortunately, it's about money. The big hospitals that have the big funding, they're in Times Square, the support is good. Union hospitals usually. But the ones that are in the poorer neighborhoods, they take care of, just a different demographic. The support isn't the best.
Okay, I see. So
Yes.
on average, if we are not, we don't qualify yet to be travel nurses, how much do nurses make on average generally? So that we can close the number section.
Okay. Generally, not a travel nurse, regular nurse, like you guys come to USA tomorrow, depending on the state, but let's say average, I would say about $70,000 a year a nurse can make. Not travel nurse, just regular nurse on average. Now, California, you can start at $100,000 easy, but that's more expensive. But I would say an average, 70,000 is what a nurse can expect to make in the United States.
Good. So thank you so much for the numbers. I'm sure my audience now, I don't have to do so much convincing for them to watch the videos on this pathway. So if you're on this live session and you want to go to the USA, I already passed my NCLEX. Tell me congratulations.
Congratulations, Queen. Everybody put congratulations in the chat.
It's not easy. If it's easy, do them.
So that's a big accomplishment. Congratulations, seriously.
It wasn't a easy fit. Thank you. So I was gonna say that, considering, what was I gonna say? So if you're a nurse, first of all, if you're a nurse and you want to go to the United States, don't bother going to my DM to ask questions. Don't bother going to Melanin right now to ask questions. Just go to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I have all the videos for you to successfully go through these pathways. Video that I took my time. When I was doing this process, I was writing things down, jotting things down. So exactly the way I did this, nothing has changed. That's the same way I have put it in that video, free. No membership needed. Just go to my YouTube. You don't even need to subscribe. Just go and watch the videos. Free for you to watch, fully packed. Okay, so that should be where you should be right now, watching that video. Take notes. See, nothing good comes from comfort zone. Today I was tired and I was telling my boyfriend, I'm so tired, I don't want to study anymore. You have to do IELTS for visa screen and everything. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I said, but when you start counting the dollars now, you'll be happy, right? I said, okay. And I took my E's and went back to my books.
I love it.
So I am like, so anything you want to do it now. I should have done this way back in 2019. I procrastinated and I didn't take my NCLEX until 2023. Can you imagine how much of time I had wasted? So please don't even dilly-dally about it. Don't even think twice. Forget the guns. Look at, have you been shot? No. But now, please, there is violence everywhere. That's just the truth.
True.
It's funny how you it's funny how people only want to show us the bad side. They never tell us the best side of it. Every country, no country is perfect. We have violence in the UK, we have violence in different countries. Of course, USA is more in the news because USA is a world on its own. My goodness, a state alone in USA is a whole nation on its own. Right? So it's really unfair to compare USA to other countries. I feel like it's really unfair.
I'm glad you
My
brought up
YouTube is Nosen JTV. The link is on my bio.
Yes.
Okay, so go and watch it through there. So you're from Ghana. Do you miss home?
I do every day, every day.
What's the community like? When last did you travel to Ghana?
I go to Ghana every December. So
Ooh.
every year, December, I'm there. Dirty
Wow.
December. Dirty December.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
How is the community like? Like support, so you don't miss them too much because you go, or anyway, you go every year. But how is the community support like in this state? Like in the UK, we have a lot of Nigerians,
You do.
community here and there, Ghanaian community, this community. Do you have things like that in the States also?
We do, but I will be honest, it's not as good as the UK. I just went to London for my first time last year. You guys, my birthday is next week. So happy early birthday to me.
You deserve a gift from UK.
Amen. I will be checking my DMs. But last year for my birthday, I went to London. I love London. I mean, I had a great, I don't know why. You guys are, I enjoyed myself, honestly. I love it. It reminded me of New York a little
Can
bit.
we exchange? Can you come to UK when I move to US in your place? Happy birthday in advance, Queen.
Thank you.
Greeting you.
Period.
Okay. So you love the UK.
The UK is better for African community, I'll be honest. But depending on the state. So like here, Houston, Texas, you'll find a lot of Nigerians. It's like Nigerian capital. New York, you'll find a lot of Africans. Atlanta. So different states, you'll find a lot. But it's not like in London, there were like 5 different Ghanaian restaurants. I said, wow, this is great. Here you'll find maybe 2 per city. So it's not as much as London, but it's still definitely here.
So where is the best site to reside in USA for us that are freshly coming from UK or coming from Ghana, from Africa generally? Where would you recommend that, okay, this place, you live here and this is why and this is why?
That's a good question. So I always tell people to come to California. I know it's expensive, but honestly, the rent in California, like let's say Florida rent versus California rent, the difference is maybe $500 a month. Like, I mean, my apartment
maybe 500. 500 is a huge number, please.
but you'll be making, like, imagine you in Florida, you're making 65, 70,000. And then in California, you're making 110,000. So it's like, yes, you'll pay extra $500 a month. But I mean, $500 a month times 12 months, maybe, let's just be nice. Let's say you pay extra 10,000 in the rent difference, but you'll be making an extra 40,000 for the year. And the weather is nice in California. Like I mentioned, they have labor laws. So honestly, my sister, I don't even know what a 30-minute break is. Those days are over for me. In California,
we have
an hour.
30 minutes break, 30 unpaid, 30 minutes break, which is unpaid, the break. And then you have 15 minutes maybe. I don't know. That's how it works in the theater. I don't know, maybe it's different on the ward. 12 hours shift, 30 minutes break unpaid, and then 15 minutes coffee break.
Okay.
So 45 minutes in total.
That's not bad though. Some states in the US, you'll be lucky to get 30-minute breaks.
Wow, that's crazy. So who inspires you?
Say that again.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? You know what, honestly? And I'm not trying to give like the good answer. My mom. My mom is my biggest. She's the whole reason I'm a nurse. I've just watched her really, really like turn her life around. In Ghana, she was working in the bank. She had no medical. In Africa, they don't pay nurses. So in Ghana, working at the bank is where the money is. So when we moved to America in 2006, I mean, I watched her, struggle. She was working at a grocery store. She was a CNA. My dad was washing dishes for a living. I mean, when we came from Ghana to America, we were really, really struggling. We were living with family. We were living with friends. we're trying to get our citizenship. So any money that they did have from washing dishes or working at the grocery store, it had to go towards citizenship. So I've really watched my parents have nothing, be at the very bottom and really work. So my mom, she always inspires me. Like, even though I'm retired now, because she's a nurse practitioner, it's like I want to go back because she wants me to be better than her. She's like, oh, you have to do better than me. So my mom is my biggest inspiration. She had nothing, and she's really worked hard for everything that she has. So
great. That's so sweet to hear that your mom is your inspiration. Thanks
she
for
is.
sharing. And I mean, I love to see where, of course, I want to see people who have, they've always had it well, fine. People see you now and they think, oh my gosh, she's always had it easy.
No.
These things are working for her. They never hear all this backstory,
Never.
Right. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really do appreciate.
Yeah.
So we're rounding off now, even though I don't want to.
It was so fun.
Oh, we had to see you go, Bob. We have to round off. Yeah. I cannot wait to have you again. We are definitely,
of course,
doing more of this. Okay?
Period.
I think maybe the next time we come together, we're gonna do a UK versus USA battle.
I love it.
Come prepared. Okay?
Oh, I stay ready. I stay ready.
So just before we round off, right? What life advice would you give your younger self? I know you're still young. Well, but
that's a good.
You're younger.
Question.
Younger version of you. What advice? I mean, just a way to give advice to my audience, literally. To be honest. Yeah. I
would say, honestly, to believe in yourself. And I know we've all heard it before. Believe in yourself. Okay. Even if you think you're confident. And I thought I was a confident person until this year. Like, when you want to step away from the normal, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's even content creation or launching your first ebook or doing your workshop, you are going to be faced with imposter syndrome. At least for me, like, I know what I'm doing, but sometimes you feel like like people want to learn from me, like people like me. So, I appreciate all you're doing. You've built such a huge platform on Instagram. You're so likable. That takes a lot of courage. So I want to tell everybody here, don't look at me like I'm special. Don't look at her like she's special. You are special too. You just have to believe in yourself. Trust God. Like, this is not, I always tell people, when I tell people about God, it's not so I can be cute. Trust God, put him number one, and everything else will fall in line. Believe in yourself and keep God first.
Standing ovation for Nurse Louise. Standing ovation. Thank you so much. It's been an absolutely mind-blowing session. I want to watch this session. Like, I want to go back. Maybe I missed something. I want to go back to watch this video. I'm going to watch this again, even before I put it on YouTube. So thank you so much for your time, for your effort, for every information. Everything has been so valuable. If you're yet to follow her right now. Did I get your handle correct? Yes, you did. It is at melanin.lois. Melanin.LOI. Good. So you don't have a YouTube channel, do you? Actually do. I do. You didn't tell us. I'm not active. I'm not active. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. You need to come. You need to come. We need you. We need a TED Talk. Okay? Yes. We need it. I'll put it in the chat. My YouTube is Millennial Nurse TV. I have like 2,000 subscribers. I used to be very consistent, but I stopped. So it's not easy, to be honest. I understand. I've been there. It's hard. Doing several things together. Oh my God. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Now we have Threads. Hey! It's so hard to keep up. So follow her, follow me. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Go to her page. You'll see everything about her. She has, she has she's always putting together webinars, workshop, free. You are so generous. You are generous. Because people don't appreciate free things. I'm thinking about how far you can go with this.
Listen, the free will not last long.
So
So
please grab Anna
grab
while
it,
it is still
run.
free. Like grab Anna while it is still free. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you everybody that's been with us from the beginning. If you missed the beginning of this live session, it will be saved. So all you need to do is just go back to my page once you're done with this and go watch it. If you prefer to watch it on your big flat screen on YouTube, don't worry. I'm going to make sure I save this video right away to YouTube. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you behind the screen.
See you. God bless
Bye,
you.
lovely.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye. I love you. Cheers. And thank you to everyone who bought badges. Thank you so much.